So the first thing we want to look at is the clips, so making sure that they're at the right height, so when we walk the barbell in, we don't have to then go into a squat to take it down, and we don't have to go into a squat to pick the bar up. It might take you a few little goes just to find what that right height is. It's usually just below shoulder height, so when you've got that barbell, you can walk it all the way in and just a little drop down, so you don't want to be going too far up onto your tiptoes or too low down into the squat. So the next point is the safety bars, making sure that these are in place so that if you have your barbell here and you're in that squat, if you find that you're stuck and can't push it back up, you can drop it down to the bars. So you just want to make sure that these are at the right height, not too low so that you're actually stuck and can't get out from under the barbell, but not too high that it actually stops you going low enough to what you want to go. Now we need the barbell. So the next pointer is the hand placement on the bar. So we don't want them to be too wide outside the clips, we don't want them to be too narrow. So usually just shoulder width apart and just use the markings on the bar as well to make sure that your hands are nice and even. So you don't want to go up the bar more to one side than the other, because when you have the weight you're going to be lopsided. So just making sure they're nice and even. Tuck the thumbs under, taking one step underneath, your feet are directly underneath, squeeze the shoulders together, and you'll find that that creates a shelf on your shoulders. So looking a little bit closer at that shelf, you'll see that when you squeeze the shoulders together, the bar can just rest on top of the shoulders. This way, it's not going to be on the back of our necks, on our bony bit of the spine. So the barbell should never hurt our neck here. If it does, then the bar's too high. So again, when you go underneath, squeeze the shoulders together so you're not here, but they're back and down. Should place onto that shelf, and you can stand up from there and take a step back. So now I've gone over the pointers of how to set up the bar and how to get it correctly on our shoulders. We're just going to go in for our first back squat. We're going to add a bench or a chair or a box, whatever you've got in the gym, just to add a little bit of guidance to where we're going to go with our first squat. So just making sure it's nice and even in the middle. Taking hands, setting yourself up just like we've shown you before. Taking one big step back, and you should find yourself just by the bench. So we're just going to sit down onto the bench and stand up nice and tall. So you find with this one, we don't want to sit backwards and lean back as well, but you want to lean the torso forward. The barbell is always over the ball of our feet. So we're standing up and taking it back down. So you'll see that the chest is leaning forward, and you don't have to try and keep it upright, nice and straight, because that will cause you to be off balance. So that's one that we like to practice a lot just to begin with, just so that you can start to feel more comfortable with the barbell, get comfortable with adding some more weight, but you know that you've got the support of the bench there to stand back up from as well. So it just gets you used to that squat movement and making sure that you're not dipping the chest and not sitting down with the hips.